Unlock the power of Opportunity Zones. Maximize your capital gains savings. Welcome to Opportunity Zones 101, what every advisor needs to know. Equip yourself with crucial insights on opportunity zones to better serve your clients and expand your advising capabilities. This webinar covers the essentials and will enable you to learn specialized techniques to guide your clients in optimizing their tax benefits and investment strategies through opportunity zones. If you are an advisor, if you're a CPA, if you're a real estate agent, if you're a business broker, you need to know about opportunity zones and you need to know about the Corporate Transparency Act. You need to have a base understanding, which we can help you get. In 15 minutes, you will gain a competitive advantage to take your advisory services to the next level. At OZPros, our mission is to do well by doing good. In this webinar, we'll teach you how to master the complexities of opportunity zones and how they can be a game changer for your clients' financial strategies. Join us for an in-depth analysis and expert guidance. Hey, I'm Ashley Tison, and I'm an attorney who specializes in tax mitigation consulting. I like to call myself a reformed attorney because I wanted to get in the game of business. I wanted to get into the game of life. I wanted to get into the game of having purpose and impact and actually being able to help people, which is the whole reason why I went to law school in the first place. After the recession of 2008, I went back to practicing law and I built up a mergers and acquisition practice that specialized in taking Wall Street level sophistication and bringing it to Main Street level business mergers and acquisitions. It was really exciting, but one of the things that kept occurring in that process was that I saw how much business owners were leaving on the table, both in the form of value and in the form of taxes. It's not about what you make, it's what you keep. I really got passionate about trying to help business owners keep as much of their money as possible and figure out a way to successfully transition that wealth to the next generation. In the process of doing that, I went to a CLE and I heard about these things called opportunity zones, and I ran the guy down afterwards and I said, holy cow, that sounds like 1031 and private equity got married. And he said, oh, and they had this beautiful baby named Opportunity Zones. This is perfect to help people really be able to take advantage of what I think is the most powerful tax incentive ever created by Congress. So I sold that M&A practice and I launched what ultimately ended up becoming OZPros. People ask me all the time, Ashley, what is an opportunity zone? An opportunity zone is a specific census tract that the governors of each state got to designate through the Opportunity Zone legislation. And if you look back to its origins, it actually came to life back in the Clinton administration, where they were looking for ways to bring private capital to underinvested areas, but they couldn't get it through during Clinton or Obama. When Trump got elected, ultimately, this legislation got through, and it allowed the governors to designate up to 25% of their low-income census tracts as opportunity zones. So the governors got together, they went to their economic development folks, and they said, hey, listen, give us the tracts that you want to have designated. That happened back in May of 2018, and those tracts are going to be the opportunity zone tracts until the end of the legislation. It was based upon the 2010 census, and some of those census tracts are now not low income anymore. People come to me all the time, they're like, listen, how's this waterfront property that's down on the Strand at Myrtle Beach still an opportunity zone? And the reason is because it was a low income census tract. Now, there's existing legislation that would grandfather in some of those that have gone up to 130% of adjusted gross income. Governors of the states would then get to designate new opportunity zones as replacement tracts. In so doing, they have resulted in over $150 billion worth of private capital that has gone into areas that really need it. They bring new development, they bring new building, they bring new businesses that bring jobs. And that's why we're really excited about opportunity zones, because it allows people to save money on taxes and to make investments and to start businesses that ultimately are doing really good things inside of the community. Where are the opportunity zones? There's 8,764 opportunity zones that got designated by the governors in accordance with the opportunity zone legislation. They are literally in every state and every territory of the United States. There's over 40 million Americans that live in opportunity zones. These zones range from waterfront property in South Carolina to ports on the coast of California to massive swaths of land out in the greater West, including a lion's share of the Permian Basin, where people are drilling qualified opportunity zone business wells in the oil and gas industry. You can invest into those. You can invest into houses. You can invest into real estate. You can invest into condos. You can invest into operating businesses in these areas. And it's an opportunity for you to save money on taxes by doing good inside of these communities. There's lots of myths and misconceptions about opportunity zones. One of the big ones is, man, this is too good to be true. And I'm like, no, it's not. Congress wanted this to happen in order to attract investment into areas that had historically been kind of left behind. The next thing they're like, well, this is going to cause gentrification in those areas. I think that the program is designed in order to try to minimize that as much as possible and to create as much positive impact as possible. They are specifically designed in order to encourage actual development, not just land speculation, not just people that are trying to make a buck on that, but are people who are actually creating jobs, bringing jobs to the area, and that are making a difference in those communities. One of the other questions is, haven't opportunity zones already expired? And the answer is unequivocally no. So this program goes all the way until December 31st, 2047. That's when you have to sell your assets on the back end in order to get the big benefit, which is that step up in basis to fair market value. Two other benefits. The first is that you get to defer your taxes until December 31st, 2026. And then if you were invested for 5 years or 7 years prior to that date, you got to reduce your taxes when you went to pay them. Now, those dates were 2019 and 2021. So those dates have expired. And even CPAs and attorneys are like, well, I thought that program expired back in 2021. Well, no, it is still in effect, and you've got the ability to be able to defer taxes and then to be able to eliminate them on the back end if you have a capital gain prior to December 31st, 2026. Another misconception is, man, this is a program just for the rich. The short answer is that that's absolutely not true. Opportunity zones are set up in order to help anybody, and they're set up in a way so that it's simple. The majority of tax mitigation programs require significant sophistication and lots of legal fees and lots of hoops that you got to jump through. In the Opportunity Zone program, it's as easy as filing your taxes. You file a form with the IRS with your taxes that designates it a qualified opportunity fund. And then you got to make sure that you comply with the requirements of it, which is why you hire a professional like OZPros in order to help you to do that. Another question that I've got is this just like 1031? And the answer is no. 1031 only defers taxes. But opportunity zones, which is codified under section 1400Z, just like section 1031 of the code, allows you to not only defer taxes, but ultimately to eliminate them on the backside. And the biggest distinguishing factor is you can use capital gains from any appreciated asset. That's not just real estate, but it's the sale of a business. It's crypto, it's stock, it's gold, it's an appreciated baseball card. It's anything that has gone up in value that you're gonna pay a capital gain. You could take that capital gain and you could put it into a qualified opportunity fund. You get to defer the taxes on that gain, which don't discount the value of that deferral, because it gives us time to implement other tax mitigation strategies about where you're going to take your money from your QOF and invest. We can invest into solar deals. We can invest into other real estate deals. We can invest into operating businesses, and we can take depreciation from those in order to be able to offset the gains that you're going to pay in 2026. It allows us to get really creative, which a lot of the other tax incentives don't allow us to do. One of the final questions I get is, it sounds like this is really complicated. Man, I need to have $1 million of capital gain, right? I'm like, no, it's not about how much capital gain you have now. It's about how much capital gain you're going to have in the future. So you could start a business with $5. You could start a business literally with $5 of capital gain, and it could be the next Facebook. And if you set that up as a qualified opportunity zone business, you're going to be able to exit that thing in 10 years with 0 capital gains. And if you're doing real estate, there's also 0 depreciation recapture. That's the power of opportunity zones. What does OZPros do? The first thing is that we're going to give you a plan. Number one, we're going to help you formulate that strategy. We're going to give you a plan. We're going to look at your portfolio or your client's portfolio. We're going to look at the assets. We're going to look up the pinup gains, and we're going to help you formulate and execute a plan for how you're going to exit those capital gains, put them into a qualified opportunity fund, and then go forward with whatever it is that they want to do. Now that includes stock, crypto, and other assets. This is the exclusive way to defer gains on stock and appreciated crypto portfolios. We love helping people exit out of those, put it into a qualified opportunity fund, and then put it into real estate, put it into operating businesses, put it into other things that are going to diversify their portfolio. The third thing is that we set up captive qualified opportunity funds. We've set up over 1,000 qualified opportunity zone entities to date. We can also help you identify investments if you are wanting to exit something that is appreciated, but you're not necessarily wanting to do your own deal. We can help you identify great fund managers and investments that you can go into. Inside of opportunity zones, there is compliance that has to be done. The great thing about opportunity zones is that you don't have to ask for permission, but you better have a great audit trail. And that's what we do at OZPros. We help you build your audit trail in order to be able to pass that IRS audit. But then you need an expert that can streamline the process for your clients that you can trust to make sure that they are going to be in good hands. That's where OZPros comes in. We help you and your clients go through opportunity zones to do the actual deal, to make sure that they stay in compliance, and then we streamline how they can actually make that happen as painlessly as possible. We do the same thing with the Corporate Transparency Act. We have a portal that your clients can use in order to make sure that they're compliant so that they don't run afoul of FinCEN and that they're not looking at $500 a day and a felony. That's what you as an advisor need to be familiar with. We are here to help. We are a resource to help you understand these complex topics so that you can be the hero for your clients. We're here to bolster you, to back you up, and to be the resources that you need in order to make sure that your clients stay in compliance. If you got entities, you don't need enemies, and you specifically don't want to make the Treasury Department an enemy. Fill out that contact form today. Let's get on a call so that we can talk about how we can utilize the resources at our disposal to help you and your clients comply with opportunity zones or the Corporate Transparency Act. As you can tell, I'm super excited about opportunity zones. I've seen the top of the mountain. I've seen the summit. I've been there, and I've experienced the power of them for me and my family. And that was one of the reasons why I got so passionate about helping others do the same. That's why we created OZPros.com. That's why we created the processes that we did. And ultimately, that process and helping others along this path got me the moniker of the OZ Sherpa. I would love to be your Sherpa. I would love to show you the path. We're super excited about helping you take the next step in your opportunity zone journey. Go to our website, fill out a contact form, set a strategy call, or jump into OZ Ascent, which is our weekly mastermind where we teach people how to do opportunity zones. I'd love to walk alongside you and help get you to the summit of Mount OZ. Take the next step, join me on that path, and let's get to the summit together.